Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly, I'll be your friendly cult leader today, because today we're carrying on with our ongoing campaign playing Kult, Divinity Lost from Helmgast Studio. Playing our campaign, Those Left Behind. And with me today are the stars of the Those Left Behind campaign. I'll go the order I've got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are and what lost soul are you playing today? First up, we've got Carl.
Hello, I'm playing Joey Novak, or Joseph, if you use the Hungarian. And yeah, that's who I'm playing. He is, when we get the screen rights to run this as a TV show, he will be played by, who's the guy playing him?
I think it's Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi.
Oh, yeah.
Big bulging eyes. And Joey's putting all his money today. He's suggesting his clients put his money on the Bengals for the big game, because he always goes for the underdog.
Nice.
Maybe why he's hiding from collectors all the time.
Right.
Yeah. And last but certainly not least is Sean.
Hi, my name's Sean. I'm playing Samuel Joseph, formerly Sam Jaspers, formerly a FBI agent, and strange things have happened to him, and we are finding out exactly the whys, where, and wherefores.
Mm-hmm. So before we get to a summary, let's do the summary first, and then we'll talk about our dramatic hooks for today. So first, what we did, Carl, because you weren't able to attend last time, and because Mo wasn't able to attend, what we've said is that Mike was off elsewhere anyway in the story. What we said was that we opened with Jenny coming running in, and Sam was still kind of freaking out, for where we left him 2 sessions ago, and he didn't notice that Joey apparently slipped out the back door. So I think our opening scene today is going to be finding what Joey did after the events of at Madame Yoseveski's office, or parlor. I don't know what you call a place where you do psychic readings. Chamber.
Parlor is probably the kind the kind description.
In this world, she is not a fraud. She does actually have psychic powers. So yeah, scene of the crime, I suppose. Both literally and figuratively in this case. But last session, what we instead focused on was the fallout from Samuel's encounter with whatever that creature was that had infested Madame Yoseveski. That when you got back, Mr. Pearl, the gangster that was causing the problems, he's run off, having had a glimpse of the maddening circumstances through which Samuel lived before. So Sean, why don't you tell Carl and the rest of us what happened last time?
Start me off, Kevin. I'm bad at this.
Sure. So where we opened up with you and Jenny. Madame Yoseveski was brought, because you may remember 2 sessions ago, that creature, as a demonstration of its power, shattered her arm.
Yep.
So Madame Yoseveski and her son, Ivan, her nephew, Ivan, took her to a hospital.
That's right.
And so she was being cared for in a hospital.
And it made clear that it wanted the package, so that it made the real focus, like, so that belongs to me, or at least to and it was pretty clear that it's representing someone, I think, at the time, and that's not yours. So let's just make this easy on everybody, in essence, and bring the package.
Yes. And Joey recognized, Anna's reminding me, Joey recognized that the accent was Greek, because he had dealt with Greek individuals in the past.
Right.
Sure.
I'm not attempting a Greek accent, because all I'll do is sound like the guy who owned the Greek restaurant I worked at when I was in my teens. George.
I wouldn't know any different. You'd have an easy audience.
I know.
We then cut to, we started this session with you at a diner. It was we used Nighthawks as a visual reference for it, and we met someone named Regina.
Yes. So yeah, Regina is one of Samuel's cotieri, if you will. She is considered one of the more respectable, just because even though she is not high on the career ladder, she has her shit together, and that qualifies her as full blown respectable in Samuel's world. And she's well screwed down. She's got like her head on straight, and she's accepting of. She knows enough that she's accepting of what Samuel brings her without blinking. Like she's like, okay, like some crazy thing, and she's like, okay, got it, fair enough. She just kind of, and so she's a big anchor for Samuel.
And what we alluded to last time was Regina is a veteran of some kind who did serve in Afghanistan, and one of the ways that Samuel and her met was through a support group for those who suffer from post-traumatic stress. And
that's right.
She was having a great deal of difficulty because there was a supernatural aspect to her, to the incident that led to her experiencing post-traumatic stress. And it wasn't until Samuel that, unabashedly was like, agreed, like, yep, I understand that. Completely agree with no pandering or no, whatever else. We have yet to flesh out what that, the further particulars are of that. But that's the genesis or the core of the relationship between Sam and Regina.
And I kind of felt maybe even a touch. I mean, I think Madam knows more. Madam is more cognizant of what she knows, and with a better intellectual grasp is my impression than Samuel. However, perhaps Samuel serves some function to Regina as Madam serves to Samuel in that, here's a person that's just at least a rung above in that cognizance of what's up, of what's going on here.
Yeah, that's
my impression.
I 100% agree. I'm trying to think what else. So Jenny is staying now with Regina. Because yes. You were fearful of her going home.
And then Eric Fuentes.
Yes, you got the name Eric Fuentes. And what do you remember about Mr. Fuentes?
So Eric Fuentes was also, I believe, was he in the military?
He was. Yeah, he's someone who Regina knew from one of the support groups.
Yeah. That's right. So support group, and she said, Eric Fuentes has a story. The reason he was in the PTSD support group sounds a little familiar, Samuel, and you should speak to him because you telling me about this gentleman, in quotes, that was this entity that was at the parlor. He has a similar story in a different context. And so you should have a word. And the easy way to find Eric Fuentes, of course, is at these PTSD classes that Samuel's been ducking for some time. So he can just, go back and see if Eric's around. And so that's what we did. We had a scene to do that.
Yeah. I didn't think of, too, is after the support, attending the support group, I don't know whether you still have any more, stress?
I think
stability?
I got better, but I probably, let's see.
So you got better when you were spending time with Jenny, but I didn't give you any point. And from attending the support meeting, you would also get improve one more level.
Because I still have myself marked as anxious, which is pretty bad.
Yep. So you can get rid of that one then. So you're back down. You're neurotic? Always at what? Shaken? No, not shaken. What is it?
It's one of my disadvantages. Let me check. Never gets better than distressed.
Never gets better than distressed. Okay, so you're back to neurotic then.
Okay.
-2 disadvantage rolls.
Yeah.
All right.
And -1 to keep it together.
Yes. And you also met with... so you met with him, and do you remember how you saw this figure?
Samuel. Okay.
This figure meaning
the man whose face you showed you sort of sketched out for things. Was it? Oh, you saw him as Madame Yosefsky, right?
Let's see. That's a good question.
Because I know Joey could only hear, like, you were seeing through the illusion at that point, I think.
Because she speaking as him, or
Yes.
was she appear? Yeah, she was speaking as him. But at some point, I seem to recall that it may have started that way. But and the whole thing being surreal is fine too. Like that Samuel's not sure exactly what the details are. But at some point, there was a separation because I know that her arms were getting disfigured and not his arms.
Yes. Yeah.
And at one point, I saw him not maybe for what he was, but at least as he chooses to appear, not as the Madam. I saw his.
So what? So you met with Eric outside of the support group meeting afterwards.
Yes.
You had a quick. You suggested going for coffee for it, and he asked if you had any issues with alcohol. You said no, so you decided to go to a bar because he felt that having a drink was going to be the way to hear this news.
Which is a classic question, outside a PT, even though it's not for that, but that's even hearing that question, you're like, the first thing is, do I have a problem with alcohol? No. And then you realize, oh, we're outside a support group. That makes total sense.
Yeah. I think one of the ways of self-medicating for those kind of conditions is often alcohol. So that's my thought for why he would be asking about that. The thing he then told you about, do you remember what his story was?
I remember that it was a battlefield, I believe, and it was a battlefild, and it was some wicked skirmish.
Yeah, I think it was part of the Battle of Fallujah.
Okay, yes, and and all hell was breaking loose, and there was a man that was incongruous with the situation and the setting, that was just standing there, incongruously. Not worrying about cover, not worrying about his well-being, dressed inappropriately for the situation, and seemed to be perhaps bemused, amused, and just the whole thing was completely incongruous to what was going on.
Yeah. And it resulted in the loss of Eric's entire squad.
That's right.
So
That's right. So part of his horror, part of his PTSD, his key moment of horror.
Yeah. So then he indicated when Sam drew a rough sketch of what this guy had looked like, he showed him that was the case. And then we ended the session with him sharing a news article on the link. Now, I did post the link to Discord. If you haven't had a chance to take a look at that article, Sean, I'll let you do that while we're getting...
Should I put it in the chat for Carl? Or what do you think?
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. The crossing of the breaking of the fourth wall, or whatever you'd call it.
Yep. And if you want to learn more about it too, the podcast Behind the Bastards has a 2-part series on Mr. ZZ.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good at a couple of episodes. He truly lives up to the name. That brings us up to speed of what happened last time. Now, before we get into today's session, let's talk about our dramatic hooks. So I think Sam got all of his last time, so we're starting fresh with your dramatic hooks. Mm-hmm. So we need 2 new ones for you. Joey, I think you hit yours after that last session.
I have them cleared. So
okay.
I think I did.
So let's talk about the dramatic hooks. So we can do, again, do you guys want to do 2 for each other, for each other's character? Do you want to do 1 for your character, 1 for another character, or do you want to do 1 for each other's character and then have me suggest 1 for a character's? I already have plenty of control over the game, so my feelings will not be hurt if you guys want to suggest 2 for each other. I don't mind sitting out this part.
1 and 1, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, let's splitting it all up. I mean, I think that, let's do that.
So So let's talk about the ones that you wish to pursue first for yourselves. Do either of you guys have? I'm on page 136 of the core rulebook, the gorgeous core rulebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a notification that they're should be on their way.
Yes.
A little slower for you for North America. But,
yeah.
For the Kickstarter.
Yeah, for the last Kickstarter.
Yeah, but I also am getting the Bible-sized version of the main rule book.
I gotta check and see if I'm getting that still. I can't. I think I thought about that because I had not been able to track one down at a reasonable price.
You know, it's just better if you don't know. You open the box and you just see what happens.
It always works out. It's like that's how I discovered I got 2 DM screens for my Iron Kingdoms back ago because I wanted to make sure I got that. All right, so then
136, you said
136. Yeah. Then the dramatic hooks. You begin the sentences. You should, and the prompts are finish, reveal, tell, visit, complete, confront, investigate, or develop. You're free to make your own. So. What do you think, either Carl or Sean? What does your character want to pursue this session?
I think. Go ahead, Sean.
Well, I mean, Samuel is.
You guys are so polite. Are you sure you're not Canadian? Come on.
I can't see Sean because.
Oh yeah, I can't see Carl either.
Oh,
I can see you, but I refreshed like constantly.
A couple times. That is so. Roll20 just being a pain in the ass today. Then.
Yeah. Go ahead, Carl.
Is weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
So yeah, I guess that's why we're talking over each other. Can't see each other. That makes sense. So I'm gonna say Joey probably. I feel like Joey fled like that. What's that guy's name?
Mr.
Pearl.
Mr. Pearl. He fled like Mr. Pearl, but clearly in a different direction. So he hasn't really touched base or seen Madame Yovesky since then. So I say he needs to visit her in the hospital.
Sure. Yeah. Visit Madame Yovesky. Okay. And Sam, what is your...
I mean, Samuel's, I'd almost have to come up with an explanation of why he wouldn't have probably invest something with the package. I mean, if I'm not doing the package, how'd you manage that? So I think investigate the package. Let's see. There might be a better word though. That's probably the word. Let me just. Yeah, I think investigate the package.
Because at present, you know that it's been surrendered to the FBI at some point. And I think that Mike mentioned that it was seized by someone by his someone who worked around the time when you and your partner disappeared. So you definitely have a way in there. But other than that, I don't think you know anything further about where they are. Now, what do you guys think do you have a dramatic hook for the other character?
See.
I have one easy. If you're struggling, I have an easy one for Joey.
I mean, I was thinking of whether to go. I mean, the one I'm thinking of for Joey just happens to be. He seems to always be pursued, by his occupation. So that would be the low-hanging fruit for Joey that I can think of that we could. Unless there's a better one for something more central.
Well, I was going to say this is easy XP is reveal where he went.
Oh yeah. That sounds good. That's direct and immediate. So
okay, reveal where he went, and then sorry, Carl, we interrupted you as well.
So I feel like Sam. Like I know we're trying slowly to put the pieces together, but unless it's been done, I don't think it has to investigate this more about this Mr. Doctor.
Mr. ZZ?
Mr. ZZ. Investigate Mr. Z. More about Mr. ZZ.
Okay. All right. So we got our prompts. I think that we're good to go here then. So because we haven't seen Joey on screen for a little bit, I think we'll, if you guys are okay with it, we'll start our scene with Joey. So, Carl, you think this starts at the hospital where Madame Yovesky is?
No, I don't think he's quite there yet.
Okay.
I want that to develop. I think he's been...
So why don't we do this? Let's start in medias res. It's him racing through the alleyways. As a refresher of what's happened tonight, you showed up at this place having been sent a cryptic and threatening text message about Madame Yovesky. You ran into some weird guy in the back alleyway. You guys, you led people away to try and get this Sam character to get them safe. When they caught up to you near a dump truck, they both were killed with a single shot. And then you ran back, and Madame Yozoveski started speaking in a strange accent and with a man's voice. And then with a gesture, she shattered one of her arms.
Yep, and he became unfocused from all that.
Oh, is he?
That's where my stability is.
Okay, so yeah, you're racing. So you're racing in a panic in that that way that 90s Steve Buscemi can only do, knocking shit over. You push through a couple as you're racing down the street.
Yeah, he's probably think he's being pursued. Maybe he just freaked out.
So where did we ever establish what Joey's relationships are? Because those can be a source of his stability.
So I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to try to forget that all that stuff happened. He's really even though Madame Yoveski is very meaningful to him, he's going to I don't want to deal with that. Okay. So he's gonna hang out, and he doesn't have a place to live right now because he has to keep moving. He's going to try, if Allen lets him, to crash at Darnold's place. Okay.
So we sort of cut from a scene of him racing blindly, in a mad panic through the alleyways and whatnot, to him waking up on this ratty old couch. Hey, kind of. Your eyes open, you look up, and you can see it's Donald looking down at you.
And it might be like a day or so later.
We'll assume it's the next day. Okay. Because what you're going to do is, what is your? I'm assuming you have a relationship value with Donald.
It's 0 neutral, but it could go up or down.
Okay. Do you have anything that is higher than 0?
Aunt Maria and Madame Yoveski.
Okay, so Aunt Maria is the one who got you, sort of keeps you out of trouble or whatever.
Yeah, I mean Darnold. I mean, if Darnold could kick me out if it doesn't work, and then he has to switch back to.
What is the rating for Aunt Maria?
+2.
Okay, so let's say that's whose couch you're on. It's a little more gentle of a wake up, and the reason being is because if you have a scene with a source of stability, you improve by that number of steps. So you can improve your stability by 2 steps.
Yeah, it could be even that Darnold says, "No, I don't think so."
Well, maybe you were thinking that they know that I'm connected with Donald, and Mr. Pearl's going to be there, and again, so. What do you, if you, in a sort of sentence, what would you describe your relationship with Aunt Maria?
Well, I think since I think we established that his parents are both dead, so Aunt Maria is now his mother figure.
Okay.
And is life.
Is she the kind sees that Joey can do no wrong, or she is it tough love?
I would say it's more like tough love.
Okay.
Yeah, she admonishes Joey, but always, doesn't since it seems like it's a vital connection.
Yeah.
Doesn't turn him away, but.
Yeah. Well, maybe also be the one place where he can't squirm. He does seem like a fairly slippery character. So if everyone else pulls for his bullshit, she may be the one who is just is able to pin him down and make him talk straight. So you can smell, there's a strong cup of coffee that is right in front of you in the coffee table. Although Aunt Maria probably has a room, so you're in an actual bed, and it's I'm picturing it sort of like a older woman's decor here. There's a knitted shawl across the skirt of the bed, or not the skirt, the end of the bed. You're looking around, and there's pictures of your character is Hungarian, you said?
Yeah, we're Hungarian.
Hungarian, so Hungarian, I think, is Catholic then, not Orthodox?
Depends, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think we established that we're Catholic.
Okay, so you got religious iconography. I know, Poland is Catholic for sure.
Yeah.
I can't remember if Hungary is predominantly Orthodox or Catholic, but I think Catholic because of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, but who knows?
I'll look at a percentage pie chart.
Yeah, there we go.
62% are Catholic.
There we go. Okay, got it. So you're looking around. There's pictures of the saint, a couple saints. There's crosses on the wall. You sort of the way that a set dresser would communicate to us that this is a Catholic person's home, not the way an actual Catholic person's home looks like. But you can see there is a cup of coffee sitting next to you. The door is just slightly open, and you can hear the sizzling of eggs and bacon in elsewhere in the house, and the smell is the first thing, I guess, that really kind of hits you. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure you've got a clear recollection of how you got here.
Yeah, I mean, he was unhinged, so probably not.
Yeah. Yeah, you see your clothes.
Could it be possible that he didn't even knock on the door? He just kind of laid there in front of the, like if it's like one of these multi-dwelling, brownstones, right?
Yep.
He probably just laid there in the stoop, or somehow someone buzzed him in and he's laying there at the bottom of the staircase. Or
what I'm picturing is, tell me if I got this wrong, is that you can see there is a little, like the kind of like old lady little dog who's kind of looking through the door at you and just studying you. And you know that if we flash back to last night, he's barking at the back door for Aunt Maria. She goes to the back door, opens it up, and finds you kind of huddled. The screen door's open and you're huddled in the frame.
Yeah.
So you look around. Your jacket is on, one of a chair in the room. Your clothes are all sort of neatly folded up, and you can tell that there's going to be. As soon as you leave here, you're going to have a conversation with Aunt Maria about sort of what happened. But and then like a little spy, the dog sort of turns and goes running, barking back in towards Aunt Maria's kitchen, as if to tell on you that you're awake. So you look around. Like I said, you can improve your stability by 2. So what does that leave you at then?
I think I'm composed now then, right? Unfocused, I go up to uneasy.
And you're composed. So that makes sense. You're absolutely right as rain in here. So you take a sip of the coffee. What happens next?
I think I'm gonna get up and gingerly move towards the kitchen. I'm sure there's something fun being cooked.
So as you get closer to the kitchen, you can like the smell of breakfast. This is sort of her effort of trying to like dry you out. She's just, maybe she's assumed you've been drinking or something. And as soon as you get into the door frame that leads into the small kitchen, she's cooking away, and the dog, the little spy, is staring up at you, not barking or anything, and then like almost without without acknowledging your presence or taking her attention away from the breakfast being cooked, pulls a little piece of bacon off, reaches down, the dog dutifully comes up and grabs a piece from the pile that she's prepared for your breakfast. Without looking at you, she then says, "Can you eat?"
Because I'm hungry, famished, actually. Thank you, Auntie.
So, Joey, I'm picturing you heading over and just like pulling the chair back now that you've been invited, sitting right down. There are two plates that are set out for yourself and for her. If there was an uncle in the picture, he's either long gone or he passed away. I'm figuring. She says, "You need if you need more coffee," and gestures over at the coffee maker. It's about half full at this point. It's beaten and old. Everything in here has that like worn quality, as if it's something that was purchased 15 years ago and is just kept, or 20 years ago in some cases. She finishes. She's made you some toast, some eggs, some bacon. Sets everything down. Sets everything out for you, and then sits down. Do we need to talk about it?
I don't know. I mean, wait. I haven't been drinking, Auntie.
That's good.
It's just... And he probably starts blathering about what he saw, and it doesn't make sense, and it's probably like in reverse order.
Okay.
Like, he probably says, Mr. Pearl, he's running out in the street, and then Madame Yveski, I saw, and then those people got shot. I heard a rifle and blood everywhere.
Okay. I think that she just sort of, while you're talking, she stops eating. She sort of fixes her eyes on you, and waits for you to finish talking, and then says, "But you are okay?"
He looks. Yeah. Physically.
She then starts eating again. Yozeveski is in the hospital. Ivan called.
I didn't do it.
I know. They wanted to know if you were okay. If you were gone by the time Ivan got there. Some man.
Some veteran-looking homeless guy.
He's the one who did this?
No, some Greek man. It was a Greek man. I don't know where he came from, but there was a Greek man there too.
You should take care, Joey.
I should see Madam. Should see Madam Yoveski. I didn't want to cause any trouble, but
Don't bring her flowers. Vodka.
yeah.
She nods. And if there's anything else you want to talk with her about, otherwise it's just a little morning. The dog is, the spy is sort of like looking up at you pleadingly, waiting for a little bit of bacon.
Yep. Well, I want to ask her about. I guess maybe he has an inkling of there's some connection to like where they're from, because he keeps hearing hints now and again about the Hungary and the old country. So he wants to tell me about the old country, which would be, I guess, Hungary for them, right? So,
Okay. What is it you're trying to? Here, let's do this. It sounds like you are trying to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you give us an investigation roll, or investigate roll, and you can ask me some questions to see if there's any information that may be forthcoming from Aunt Maria.
Okay, how do we do this again?
Yeah, first roll. So it'll be your reason is what you're rolling.
Reason.
Yep.
Where is reason?
First page of your character sheet. In that, like, where's
Yeah, I know. I'm looking for keep it together, read it. Oh, investigate. Got it.
Okay.
Found it.
Go.
And there's no modifier, right? Since I'm looking.
Yeah, whatever your reason is. Okay.
Yeah.
You may get some information, but you pay the price for it. GM makes a move. Man, have I mentioned how much I love this game? Speaking of which, are there any drawbacks or advantages that we need to make a roll for at the start of session that I forgot to make a roll for?
I think we'd established mine was at the beginning.
I think yours at the beginning of a story. Like there's one that starts at the adventure or story, and then there's one that starts. I think that maybe it's Mo's character that has that, but I thought there was something that
Mine's scene specific, so it would depend on
Yeah.
Yeah, mine are Stalker. I think Stalker's at the beginning of the adventure or whatever.
Yep.
Whatever that.
Okay.
So no.
Okay. So then, I will let you ask. Here's the questions they've suggested. How can I find out more about what I'm investigating? What's my gut feeling about what I'm investigating? Is there anything weird about what I'm investigating?
Yeah, I guess I would ask. Maybe I'd do the weird thing and ask, because it sounds so out of the way and off the wall. Like if Aunt Maria knows anything and has any connection to what did we do anything in World War I?
Okay. She stops and kind of looks up.
We have that inkling, right? We have that inkling about World War I. Yeah.
Most definitely. Yeah. I'm not sure if Sean has shared his vision yet, because that happened just before you ran away. I think one of the things she says is what she tells you is that one of the things that this place, America, does not appreciate is the power in those with sight. Those who are gifted with sight, like Yoseveski, they are not telling actors, about their dead dads. They're not, telling people they're okay. They have a connection to a place that is, it's the place of the powers. And she makes the symbol of the cross, or the Stations of the Cross. Stations, is that what it's called?
It's a sign of the cross. Yeah.
Sign of the Cross, okay. Sure. Stations of the Cross, I think, is something different. That's another, yeah. Can you tell I grew up Protestant? What do you call it? What she says is that the man that you're speaking, that you saw, was he FBI?
I don't think I ever got any inkling that he was. I thought he was.
He was wearing a suit when you saw him. That as a, not to be unkind to Joey, but as a petty criminal, I think that you maybe have pegged the federal law enforcement as opposed to local. So the suit he was wearing, I think, because it doesn't strike me that Samuel, after he came back from wherever he was, I don't think he went shopping for any further suits past that point, which means that the thing he's wearing is likely the drab, blue or black or dark gray suit that, is classic FBI kind of look. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Fed suit, exactly. And he cleaned himself up, so he did have the look of, it could have been, you thought maybe military from the way the guy carried himself, but
why did I think he was homeless then? Because I'd seen him before
yes.
Yeah.
This is the first time you saw him cleaned up.
Yeah. Well, because I said, Auntie, he was he was homeless, and then I saw him in a Fed suit, so I guess he's a Fed.
She nods.
Maybe he was in disguise before. I don't know.
I don't think
undercover.
The gift of sight is a heavy burden for those who carry it. Yoseveski has carried it for many years. And she thinks that this man has that burden, too. If you wish to know, I would tell you, you should leave this be and go back to your gambling. But if not, if you wish to learn more, those with sight have insight beyond what we can gain. Yoseveski may be able to... Something brought you and this man together. Why do you ask about World War I?
I don't know. There seems to be a connection. I don't know.
Yeah, you're scrambling. You're shaking your head as you're shoveling food into your mouth. She says, well, if you wish to see Yoseveski, she gestures to a cupboard above the fridge, and you know precisely what she's gesturing to. Your Aunt Maria buys it by the case. So there will be bottles of vodka up there that you can smuggle into the hospital for Madame Yoseveski.
Sure. Yeah. That sounds like a plan.
Okay. Then, eat your eggs. So you eats eggs. She, feeds a little bit further to the spy. Anything else you wish to have happen in this scene?
No, I think that's good. I mean, I think he is. This happened a while ago, I guess. We'll figure that out. But yeah, I guess he's going to take her advice and lay low for a while. Maybe that's why he doesn't go visit Madame Yoseveski right away.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
And since if we're backtracking, then that's ramping up the end of the NFL season, and gambling is what to do right now.
Yeah. So you,
Playoffs and all that.
Sure. So
He gets caught up in that.
I think there's like an old TV set she's got in her living room, you know, so you can go in there, pop that on, and then just, you know, get your phone out, and you're starting to, you know, get your attention. You're feeling a lot better, it sounds like, right now. So you can sort of focus. You got your coffee next to you, and you can focus on getting, you know, setting odds and hitting your marks and whatever. So let's say it's going to be the evening when you're going to meet with Yozeveski, because that'll allow us to pick up from where Sam is, and then sort of feed into that same scene, perhaps. Okay. So what?
So I guess eventually he's going to, you know, keeps looking at the bottle, keeps thinking about it. You know, maybe time. I don't know how much time has gone by, but as you know, eventually he will go see her.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. So. Unless there was anything further you wanted out of the scene with Private Fuentes, Sam, we can maybe pick up with you walking out of that dive bar that you guys were in. You know, the snow is starting to fall. You pull your coat up around, and if we need to fill in anything, we can do that by way of flashback as well. But
so I was going to ask whether maybe a quick summary of my takeaways would be from that.
Sure.
We talked about, we confirmed that he'd seen the same man. That was the same. I know that, right?
Yeah.
What else? What do you think was a takeaway?
He doesn't know anything else. That's the thing, is that one of the reasons why he's still going to the meetings is that he has no way of explaining why a man who's been dead since I think he died in the 30s? Where's my phone? I looked at that same article beforehand.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
His resume is pretty impressive. I'm looking at that article. A brothel tout, a bigamist, and an arsonist. I mean, it's just a package.
Yeah. Well, and he basically bullied Hiram Maxim into entering into a what do you call it? A business arrangement with him to supply arms to, you know, the various armies, by way of like a whisper campaign at a arms convention. You know, by saying undercutting the sales of like, wow, it's very impressive. You know, I can't imagine the level of skill that's needed to be able to operate such a thing, as if like the common soldier wouldn't be able to use it. Maxim, after one day, was like, all right, fuck it, and met with the guy and then cut a deal so that he wouldn't do that anymore and just upsell his gun.
Jeez.
Yeah. Total piece of shit.
Piper.
Yeah. I think it's in the 1920s. 1927 is when he burned all his documents. So let's say, he's been dead for almost 100 years. He has no explanation for why this man, you know, dead almost a century, was standing unaffected in the streets of, you know, an Iraqi city. And you see, there's a strange intensity when he kind of talks about that, the frustration, but he does seem to have a more of a level of calm about it now than what he likely did when first faced with the consequences.
Yep. So let's see.
So he hasn't seen.
I'll tell him.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll tell him. Yeah, we should do this again, and you know,
that's good.
And hopefully I'll see you at the meeting.
And he says, I haven't seen you at a meeting before, at least not here.
And he's just openly, he doesn't have any. He's
corner of his mouth kind of goes up, and he's got Thursday night.
Probably, yes. I'll do my best.
I mean, he kind of shrugs. He's like, Regina's going to ask. So.
Yeah. I'll be there.
All right. So I think what you can do is you can add a 1 point relationship with Private Eric Fuentes.
Okay. All right.
So that's one way for you to potentially regain stability, is by attending meetings.
Yep.
He does want to know if you find I'm trying to think here. Does he want to know or not? I'm not sure
More?
he wants to know more. He looked and it became a bit of an obsession about his. He read a book. He's got a book about Mr. ZZ's life. If you want it, someone wrote a biography of this guy, but so little is known about him. You know, the thing that hung up on him is that at his death, he burned all of his, or shortly before his death, burned all of his correspondence. Why would someone do that?
Yeah.
When he was rich enough to buy a French villa, or maybe it was an Italian villa, he bought up every postcard with a picture of it, burned them all, and then refused anyone access to taking photos of the villa again. Why would you do that?
Complicated man.
I don't know. But all I know is I know what I saw, and I'm glad to hear someone else saw the same. I'm sorry for you, but...
And recently. Yeah. And unfortunately, I do need to know more. So...
I'm picturing you guys standing outside, and you can see he's thinking hard on this, and then he says, whatever you find, don't tell me.
Okay. Will do. We'll talk about Regina and her coffee.
Yeah.
Agreed. So he shakes his hand and he says, nice to meet you, Sam.
You too, Eric.
You take care, and Thursday.
See you Thursday.
Turns the coat up and then heads off in the direction wherever he's going, leaving you on your own. You check your phone once again, still no message from Mike, and I don't think you guys exchanged contact information, so the only point of contact between Joey and Sam at present is Madame Yozeveski, who Sam has not seen since she was dropped off at the hospital, or taken to the hospital by Yvonne.
So Sam's debating on essentially. I mean, he would like to look into the package. The easy thing about that, the easiest path would be Mike, but he hasn't turned up. Boy, Zed said he just made an attempt,
I have a problem.
and it was helpful, but he's not really sure where to go from here. A little bit on ZZ. Well, it would probably be Madam, if anybody. That'd be probably his best. And then lastly, visiting Madam just to see how she's doing. Yeah, I think. I mean, either he would, so narrowing it down, I would say either he tries to scrape up some, try to get in contact with someone from the Bureau. I mean, since Mike's not available to look into the package, or probably, but he's probably going to visit Madame Yosefsky. I mean, that's just too immediate to, and not to mention she could be helpful with ZZ. It's possible.
Sure. So I think then maybe you guys, what we'll transition to is a fortuitous meeting between our two. Who do you think is there first, waiting outside? Or do you guys meet in the lobby kind of thing? Maybe like Sam's buying something in the gift shop to bring up, and as he walks out, Joey's walking in?
Sure.
Well, Joey would be like probably, pacing back and forth, trying to figure out, what he's going to say and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So
and he's might be there a little early because he's always indecisive.
Yeah. So, and Sam, we know what Joey's been or had suggested as a gift for him. What, if anything, is Sam bringing? I mean, he's not exactly flush with funds at this point. But
yeah, and Sam doesn't really, either. I wouldn't necessarily say he's not thoughtful, but he's just kind of absent-minded. That's just not. He's not a real detail-oriented in that way, unless it's like work, in which case he snaps back to his former life. But this kind of stuff, I think he just doesn't even really hit his radar to like go go get something wrapped or something. They'd be like, what? Like, oh, like he would be like guilty. He's the guilty face of like, was I supposed to do that? So he just shows up, he just shows up.
Okay. So, Joey, you're stalking back and forth, and you can see, in this starkly lit and largely empty hospital hallway, the lifeless fluorescent lights sort of flickering above. Sam steps out of the hall, or the man you saw outside of the shop the door opens up, and he's walking along. And I think you're in a tracksuit. Because
usually I'm in a tracksuit.
Not to Joey. Actually, Sam is, because Sam.
Yeah, still,
right,
yeah.
He had to change. He had that gore and whatnot all over his clothes, so he had to change. And Yvonne was the one who gave him. So he's wearing like underneath his coat there is a tracksuit. So he's out of his suit. He's back to looking a little closer to how you normally see him. Sam. I'm guessing is distracted, as you said, too. So it's probably Joey who sees Sam first, making his way towards, Madame Yoseveski's room. So we'll pick up from there, guys. What happens next?
Joey's going to go, oh, I see you're back to homeless again.
And Joey doesn't even hear that. He just goes, oh, they don't know each other well yet still, right? I mean, they just saw each other behind that, So he probably goes, Joey, right?
Yeah,
and Joey, as you may remember, he's the one who drew those guys off. Like he just sort of like, hey, and they kind of ran off. So he helped you. I mean, they were shooting at him from the sounds of things.
Samuel's getting there, but he's like one step at a time. He's scattered.
Sure.
So he goes, oh wait, Joey, it's Joey, right?
Yeah, it's Joey. You called me.
Hey, how'd you,
Joseph? Remember?
Oh, how'd you fare? Wow, what? So,
better than Madame Yoseveski, apparently.
Oh, it's.
What did you?
Have no.
Actually, he says, what did you do to her?
Oh, it wasn't me.
Yeah, you don't sound Greek. I remember some Greek dude.
Yes.
I don't think Pearl is Greek.
No. It's hard to explain. If you want to, I tell you what, I think we should go visit the madam. But then maybe you and I go somewhere and talk about it.
Okay, but you gotta, I gotta make it look like work.
Okay. We can go wherever you want.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go visit after you.
Did you get her something?
Yeah, but hospital regulations and all.
And he shows you there's a bottle of vodka underneath his jacket, concealed in.
Yep.
Samuel looks pained because he knows, like, I didn't. Oh well.
Oh, Joey goes, get her some flowers.
Oh, flowers. Okay. They have flowers here? And he looks around. Sort of
gift shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have flowers. Okay. And he goes up and he just says, I need flowers.
So maybe down in the gift shop, you're looking at we see you standing before a big series of displays of different flowers and whatnot, and you're kind of looking at them and looking at your wallet, looking at them, looking at your wallet. We cut to you at the cashier, and there's a sad little single rose that you're purchasing.
Yeah.
All right. So we then see Joey and Sam standing with his one flower outside of Madame Yoseveski's hospital room. Mm-hmm. And you guys head in. So we're a little early, but why don't we take our mid-session break now? This seems like a natural break point. We'll come back, have your conversation with Madame Yoseveski, and we'll see what happens next. So we'll be back. For those listening at home, we'll be back momentarily. All right. Sorry about that. I do indulge in some bribery to get in and to get back in. It's gorgeous today.
Yeah, here too. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's minus 40 with the wind where my folks, when I grew up. I'd say
wow.
it's and that's only 2 provinces over. Like it's bonkers the difference in temperature.
Minus 40.
Yeah. It is not pleasant. Although it did. My sister sent photos of their dogs, and they look like they're going on an Arctic expedition. I got the booties and the big jackets and whatnot, and big almost like a balaclava, but for a dog. It's
wow.
Yeah. It is difficult. One of their pups is a. I can't remember where it's from. I want to say Cairo. It's like a street dog rescue. So like to go from that to, Winnipeg temperatures is a bit of a shift for the dog. But
Right.
of the 2 they have, it's the one that apparently loves it most. Like happily stays out in the freezing cold. It's playing in the snow.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
And maybe it's a novel experience for the animal. So
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Oh, your camera's off, Carl. That's right. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I know you're back.
Do you?
Yeah, and I mean, of the 2 dogs they've got, she's the one with thicker fur as well too. So it really feels like she'd be more comfortable in the climate. The other one's a Vizsla, which is like a Weimaraner kind of thing. Very very
Super short hair.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So like. Yeah, and adorable in a balaclava, dog balaclava.
I bet.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
So
funny.
then we pick up with you guys walking into Madame Yoseveski's room. As the door opens, you can see there's Yvonne, her great big, slab of a human being who is her nephew, and next to her, on the other side of the hospital bed that she's in. There is a man who could be identical. He could be Yvonne's brother, or perhaps just it's that look. So
Yeah.
but she looks up, her eyes open, and she looks over when she sees the 2 of you come in, and her right arm is in a cast, and it's like that hospital cast kind of thing, which lots of plastic and whatnot holding it in. She looks up and she manages a kind of a weak grin. And she says, "Oh, my boys are back."
And Sam gets a big grin.
"You're okay?"
Yeah. Looks at Joey. I think so.
Joey shrugs. Yeah, just confused, madam. Are you okay?
That man, Pearl will need to do more than... he is more likely to hurt my business by being around than harming me. But this, she looks down at her arm and looks up kind of knowingly at Sam. This is something different.
Yes, indeed. Do you know more? Have you ever seen him before, madam?
I did not see him. I did not see anyone. I felt him. Something came over. She kind of looks at Ivan and the other man, says, "Ivan," and says something in, is she Polish? I can't remember.
I thought she was also Hungarian, wasn't she?
Just because Ski is, I thought, normally a
Ski
Polish.
is Polish. Yeah.
A Polish surname.
Yeah. Oh.
But I could be wrong. I honestly don't know enough about Hungarian last names.
Well, Sam doesn't know, so that's all we need
Sure.
to.
Yeah. So in some language, and the 2 men kind of get up, like they don't even are you sure? They know to listen to the madam. She gets up, or the 2 of them get up. They go outside and close the door behind. Though you get the sense that they're going to be standing right outside as well. She gestures for you to sit down, because there's to take the seats that the 2 men vacated, and says, "It's been a very long time since I've been able to bring in something like that. if something wanted in and I did not want it in, I could keep it out. But not this thing. Whatever this is. Joey, I don't know what your involvement is here, but the man, Pearl?
Mr. Pearl, yeah.
He did this at their... He did this at someone else's request. He was not looking for you. He was looking to bring you both to me. I don't know why.
Do you think, madam, you think Pearl was cognizant of his participation?
No, he is weak. Mm-hmm. But he was manipulated. Mm-hmm. Joey, I don't know what your role is here, but there is something connecting you two. Though I cannot see it, my eyes have grown weak. But you, and she looks at Sam, you can see clearly.
Too much at times.
Look, Joey says, well, maybe this will help. And he kind of breaks off the buck, you know.
Her eyes kind of open up. Yes, there are cups. Pour. Such
And
news
Sam
should not come.
Pathetically offers he's got a little flower. He's like,
She shakes her head. She says, you should have saved your money, Sam. But put it there. And she gestures. There's like a pathetic, like, plastic vase that sits in the corner. Some previous person maybe was left behind. Fill it up with water in the washroom. You put the flour in. And Joey gets the vodka ready in those little plastic, paper wrapped cups. Pours, one for each of you guys. She toasts you, takes a swig, asks you to fill up again so she can sip. And she says, then, what did it want? I could hear it speaking to you, but I did not know what.
It wanted a package that arrived at my former FBI partner's daughter's house. A package arrived that I believe had no return address, and it wanted that package. It was very specific, and then everything else was threats, as you're aware, if it did not get its way. And it clearly represented someone else. It was a messenger.
A messenger? Did it say from where?
I don't believe it did. I think I asked. I'm a little hazy, but I believe I asked, but I did not get an answer on that.
Did it remind you of any of your lost time? The event that opened your eyes?
I don't believe it made reference. Did it? Kevin, did it make reference? I don't think so.
No.
No, madam. It was very specific. It was very focused. It was focused on this package and how it did not belong to anyone else. It belonged to its benefactor, its patron.
Who took the package then, I wonder?
Indeed. And where is it now? I know that this daughter, Jenny, who I'm close with, brought the package to the FBI and gave it to someone that I know, a current FBI agent, but that agent I have not been able to get in touch with him in quite some time. But
You
as
think
far as I
he
know, the
kept
Bureau
it?
has that package.
Curious. I feel that powers are moving, Samuel.
Mm-hmm.
I have reached this age by avoiding such things. I know my place. I am small. I am like the crow. I watch, learn, and take what I can without notice. I am not like the hawk.
I don't know what I'm like.
A dove, a hawk, or a crow. I feel you will learn, Samuel.
Maybe the ant. And he chuckles.
Ant gets eaten by all. Don't be an ant.
I don't. I'm not wishing it. I don't know how to proceed, madam. What do you think? So I had a discussion with a man that I've known before from. He was also in the military, and he had seen this man. He had seen this entity before, the human manifestation of it that I saw, he saw years ago on the battlefield. And I had a discussion with him just now, in fact, which we confirmed it was the same man. And he was incongruously on this battlefield with no discernible purpose, no discernible concern for his own well-being, and maybe even enjoying the horrific conflict.
Oh, she shudders. The powers, they can, if you fancy yourself a hawk or a dove, you can be made a slave to the powers, even beyond death. If this thing, this man, is an agent of such a thing, he may no longer be a man. I would be careful of such things. Did he say who his master was without naming him?
I don't think he did. Did he, Kevin?
No, you had some. There were some strange auditory sensations that you were feeling. Like there was this. Like I mentioned, it was as if someone was leaving a war movie on in another room. The sound of machine gun fire, screams of people, barks of dogs.
Yeah, I only got a sense of conflict and fear, pain, and death, like it's on a battlefield. But
war.
No. Yes.
If it is war, war is the domain of both angels and demons. What do you wish to do?
I mean, I'd like to know. Certainly, I'd like to know what happened to the package, even without necessarily even deciding what to do with it. I would like to know where it is, who has it, and why. I have some minor curiosity of what it is, but that's way down the list.
If you seek to seize that which is wanted by the powers, you will draw their ire. But my path has been to not interfere. And so I have seen empires fall and rise and fall. If you take steps, maybe you alter that course.
I mean, the path it's put me on, I'm afraid I don't have the ability to simply be an observer. Either I help it or I don't. And in both cases, I am intervening in a sense. So unfortunately, I think it has taken the option of the crow away from me because of the active participation that it requires of me. Whether I do it or not, I'm put in that position. It has put me in that position.
Then you must take care, Samuel.
Yes.
I am old and I am cowardly. I wish not to attract the ire. And she holds her arm up. I have paid the cost already.
At her mention of cowardly, Sam makes a face like, yeah, whatever.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I think if you wish to learn more, there is a man, a librarian of kinds. His name, as I know him, is Timothy Eglis. He has many books that say much of the powers, speculations on them. He may assist you, but this is knowledge you cannot forget. By understanding such things, you will know more, and by knowing, inject yourself into the struggle. Though you may be in such a struggle already. And Joey, you cannot escape this either.
Yeah, what's my role in all this? How am I being drawn in? It's crazy. I'm just, I just want to lay low, make a few bucks on the game here and there, and make sure Aunt Maria is fine and that you're fine, and now you're not fine.
I don't know your role, Joey, but they seem to want you. Sam, it was chance that brought you to me and this man. It was design that brought Joey to me. I know not what that design is, but Joey, Samuel may be the only one who can show you the art of that design. Now, I am tired. Timothy, and I forget, I don't know the neighborhoods in Detroit and all. I really should look that up, I guess, if we're setting it here. She gives you an address, which I think you recognize as being sort of the, actually both of you guys will probably be aware of this. It will be in one of the older and more affluent neighborhoods here too. Okay. So it's likely full of, the what do you call it? The not reconclaimed, the gentrified neighborhood. Probably not far from where Mike said he was going to check on his girlfriend. Like an old neighborhood reconverted or refurbished, as it were. So, is there anything else you wish to ask of Madame Yoseveski while here? Or any moves you wish to make?
How long till they say you might go home, Madam?
I should be leaving tomorrow, and then I will rest for a while. Ivan tells me he cleaned the mess from my shop, but years spent making it a place of focus that's now corrupted. Perhaps
let me know
Miami.
if I can help.
I hear Miami is nice. Many old people looking for their fortunes to be told. Afternoons in the sun. Yes, Miami. Maybe.
Samuel, having no poker face, suddenly looks alarmed. And you can't move.
There's a small smile. She says, "Not for long. Not for a long while, Samuel."
Okay.
Maybe
if you move, I'll move.
It is nicer to sleep, nicer to walk. So,
if I can help with your shop, let me know, madam.
She stops and thinks, if you insist on seeing Timothy, ask him for information, rituals of cleansing. And it seems, I don't know, like, Samuel, would you have ever contemplated collecting such a thing, a week ago? Or would you think this is nonsense?
I don't think I'd think it was nonsense, but I don't. He's kind of day to day. Like he's not a particularly. He has trouble with the big picture because of his lack of focus. Like it helps in the sense that he's accepting and he's an open vessel, and he's very, in the same way that he's kind of a super version of Regina in that way that. He's just so open about it all because he's seen it. It's been enough, and he's accepting of it, which kind of gives him a leg up over the I think with the veil of all the denial. That instant denial that shades everyone. But on the other hand, his ability to focus on the big picture and to be strategic, like his strategic is bad. Like he's just he just takes it one step at a time, and they're like, "Don't you see it?" And I'm like, help me again with it. How do these connect, and what's going on?
Okay, so do you take it? It sounds like you would take it more seriously than thinking it's just like it is a ridiculous request. Joey, how are you processing all of this? They're talking a lot of mumbo jumbo and a lot of
Joey's very like listening, looking back and forth, very confused. He's like, well. I don't know how I can help. I mean, but it seems important.
I think Joey.
I don't know about Miami, Madam.
She smiles and says, "Joey, how could I leave Maria behind?"
True.
I think what she also says is that, Joey, I think it not that you can help, but Samuel can help you.
Samuel looks at Joey and seems open, like, oh.
Okay. So then, guys, anything else you wish to discuss with Madame Yozveski, or any move you wish to make?
What was her response about going home? What did the hospital tell her?
Oh, a day. Tomorrow. Tomorrow she'll be heading home.
A day.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's just that she won't be
Samuel
reopening the shop for a while.
Samuel kind of brightens up at that, like, oh, that was sooner than I thought. Excellent. I will definitely come by when you're home.
There's a bit of a look of concern, not concern, like a little, maybe a look of concern, and it's unlike something you've seen on her before. And she says, Samuel, if you would draw the eyes of the powers. And she sort of leaves it unsaid, but I think you can infer, like, you brought her into this and it got her arm broken, as a opening thing. You're making a choice. She has chosen to live as a crow. You're making a choice otherwise. And if you do bring that attention back on her, she is intimating that something more serious may happen.
So Sam, I mean, at that, Sam's pretty resilient.
Yeah.
He bounces pretty well considering the ridiculousness, and but that deflates him. So yeah. He's crestfallen. He has this look of being now he looks very alone, and he doesn't hide it, and he just accepts it, and he looks very sad.
Okay.
And wants to leave.
Okay. Then we'll maybe cut. So, Sam, do you see making use of Jenny's vehicle to get here, or did you see that you took like public transit or something like that to get here?
I think he just stuck to his own. He parked that where he could leave it. He was fairly confident.
Yeah.
And he just wants to stick to his old. That's like a special purpose. He's looking at that as a special purpose vehicle. Okay. Good to have, but in the meantime, this is what he knows, and he's a little more confident with it.
Okay. And what about Joey? Did you get here with your own vehicle, or did you take a cab or an Uber or something like that?
He either walked or took a cab.
Okay. So as you guys leave the hospital room, Ivan and his duplicate are outside. They both sort of turn, and you guys leave. Ivan and the other man go back in, take their spots, and the door slowly kind of closes behind, leaving you guys in this big, wide open hallway. So what happens next, guys?
I think if they're relative... Yeah, he turns to Joey and he says, so how much do you want to know?
Well, if I'm supposed to help you, you need to tell me everything.
Okay.
Is it going to make me, I don't know, run away? I hope not.
I don't think the problem is that you'll want to, whether or not you want to run away. The problem is you won't be able to. You can't run away from knowledge, and that's what I have found that to be true with myself, and that was at least partially what Madam was emphasizing. And once you know it, you can't unknow it, and it changes things. But you're probably right. You probably need to know. I just wanted to give you
So I go.
choice.
So I probably look across the street, and it's probably a Starbucks somewhere. Mm-hmm. So I look Starbucks, coffee, or there's probably like the bar where the nurses and doctors might hang out, or beer, or something heavier.
Yeah, probably a dive bar. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
So you guys make your way down to the, and again, so like you see in the empty hallways, a long walk down, get into the elevator, you hit the button. Once again, it's empty, and it's one of those like fairly cavernous, hallway or hospital elevators that have to be big enough to accommodate a gurney going in and out. Maybe Joey's checking the stats on his phone as you guys are starting to go down, and you hit. Oh, there's a dog in the elevator. On that. When she's in the living room,
dogs all over this hospital. It's crazy.
It's so nice how there's a lot of people outside. So
Combo
she's
hospital and vet.
Oh, that rare human and canine hospital.
She's actually a what do you call it? What do you call them? Treatment dog. So
nice.
Yeah. This isn't on second, but you see that the pictures of the treatment horse that was making the rounds. Before there's there's a horse that I can't remember where it is. It's somewhere in Western Europe. They were bringing a horse in to sort of like convalesce with people, and that seems odd enough as it is, but the reactions to it were just fucking hilarious.
I bet.
Like, what the fuck are you thinking? This is a good idea.
Right.
Oh man. But anyway, so you guys are making your way down, and then the lights in the elevator sort of flash on and off, and it kind of stops for a moment, and it appears that you're looking at it, the top. Looks like it's between floors. One moment here. I think this is what I want. Yes. It hangs there for a moment and then shakes and continues down. Madame Yoseveski was on the 5th floor of this hospital. This stops off on the 3rd. And the doors fold into the wall. And you guys can see you are looking out on a floor identical to where Madame Yoseveski was, and almost where her room was. That is open, and you can see light coming out from it. But there are no other lights on this floor. There are also no other people on this floor. I'm assuming one of you tries to hit the closed door button. It does not respond.
I think I'm picturing perhaps if one of us does that, I'm thinking maybe it would be Joey, because I think Samuel doesn't really react. This is kind of part of his. He kind of accepts it, and he knows he's not wondering, oh, this is weird. He doesn't think it's weird. Like he said, this is more of the same, and he's kind of open to it. Like he's not looking forward to it, but he just accepts it.
Joey?
And then once Joey looks at me, like he's tried the button perhaps, and I'm just, I shrug. I'm like, so how much do you want to know, Joey? He says again.
Okay. Joey, how do you react to this? This is...
So like we're stuck, and Joey looks at it and goes, he does press the button. He goes, what the hell? He'll maybe even press the alarm. The emergency alarm.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to be functioning, or at least there's no response that seems to come from it.
Yeah, I mean, he's still, it is strange, but he just kind of shrugs his shoulders and is like, I guess we gotta go take the stairs. He's not really, I would say, based on my denial throughout my life, he doesn't think this is weird. You just think it's some technological,
mundane,
typical Detroit BS.
Absolutely, yeah.
Old hospital,
infrastructure failing. Yeah. So you walk out, and
he says they probably got the Lions to build this.
Yeah. You step out of the elevator.
He just walks out,
Yeah, and his footsteps. Is Joey wearing like sneakers or like hard-soled shoes?
Well, if it's winter, right? So he's going to be wearing like, probably like those, boots.
Okay, so you can hear the squeak of his wet boots, kind of on the floor, because there's no other sounds in here whatsoever. You get over to the door that would lead, like on the right hand side, that would lead into the staircase that runs parallel to the elevator shaft. Come on, it's locked. This metal door seems to be...
Samuel had walked out of the elevator, but then just stood there. And when Joey went for the stairs, he didn't move.
Okay, so if you're looking down the hallway, then you can see there is the light down at the far end. You can see a shadow moves across the light, as if something in that room, a good, 3/4 of the way down the hallway, as if something moved within that room. Anna, hey, Anna. They're cleaning up their yard, that's why.
Oh,
How dare those people?
That's a security alert right there.
Okay.
Once Joey maybe finishes with that door for the moment, Samuel's just looking in his direction, and when they meet eyes, Samuel will once again say, Joey, how much do you want to know? Because if you want to try to leave, that's fine, and we can catch up later.
So, Joey, if you look down to the far end of the hallway, there is a red exit sign at the far end as well. Would it be unusual for this type of hallway or type of hospital have elevators at each each end of the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
That means,
would it be usually there are elevators everywhere in a hospital.
Yeah.
Right. So they go to, because they always make, right. They always have different buildings and made at different times.
Yeah.
So he's just going to look for the nearest exit. He's going to look around for, there's usually arrows and signs around.
Yep.
Because Sam, let's just go. Let's go to the dive bar. It's a good place. It's got good ratings on Yelp. Come on.
Okay.
I look forward to catching up with you, Joey, but I won't be leaving this floor with you if you want to go now.
So you can see, Joey, if you look back, Sam, you tell me if I got this wrong, Sean, he doesn't seem to have taken his eyes off of that lit hallway down the corridor.
Except for like a glance at Joey to catch his eye for the seriousness of what Sam's saying. Yes. So
Joey, there is if you look down, there is a exit sign at the far end of the hallway, and you're right, like probably further to your right, deeper in the hospital, there's got to be another set of stairs or an elevator leading somewhere else. That part is all unlit, though. You've got the light probably from your cell phone you could use, but yeah. Now you don't remember seeing a blacked off level, like when you guys came here. You don't remember there being a level of the hospital that had no lights on it. I mean, maybe there was and you just didn't notice it, but...
Well, again, Joey thinks it's just, mundane failure. Yep. But Sam stepped out of the elevator?
I stepped out, but then I stopped, and maybe you have the sense that I'm waiting on your decision.
Oh.
It's okay, Joey. I can catch up with you.
Yeah, but which way should we go then?
I'm going to head for that room there, right there.
Where the light is?
Yes.
Well, they don't have a good beer, but, if that's where you want to talk about it, sure. He puts his phone up.
How much do you want to know, Joey?
I want to know why these guys are chasing me, and then they get shot, and their heads explode with one crack of some sort of bolt action-y, like I'm watching, Audie Murphy movie thing.
Okay. Well,
I want to know why Mr. Pearl freaked out before I freaked out. I want to know why Madame Yabeski's arm broke for no reason. And who's the Greek man?
Samuel nods and walks towards that room.
Okay. Right, well, he put his phone away, so now he's going to pay attention. And he kind of Because do I need my boot knife?
Probably not.
Okay.
Okay. So you start making your way down. Bear with me just a second here. I need to quickly grab. Okay. Okay. Just need to quickly get the names straight here. All right. So, guys, you start making your way down. Joey, you are trailing behind. And Samuel, you're about maybe 2 doors down from reaching that point, crossing this very long and empty corridor. There's that feeling of being swallowed by the darkness as you move away from the light of the elevators. And as you guys take about maybe 20 paces away from the elevator, Joey, you hear the sound of the door unlatching. You look back and you can see it closing. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Boom. The door closes and the elevator continues on.
Man, it was just a glitch. He looks back at Sam.
Yeah.
We'll know in a minute.
So, Sam, you start making your way down towards this open or this lit door. Tell us what we see, I guess, as you approach this thing.
That Sam is resigned. Like he's feeling very much alone and is realizing as he walks towards it that this ZZ it's very obvious to him that ZZ has ably cut him off from one of his sources of strength and stability. And he's facing this. He's feeling like he's facing this very much alone, but he's resigned to it. And he's saddened. He's saddened and somewhat fatalistic at the moment.
Okay. So as you approach this room, you walk up, and Joey, you're trailing behind. Can't get a signal in here. It's weird. You're trying to refresh the stats on something, and come on. You get to the crest of the door, Samuel, and you realize that there's a smell. There's an odor. Very pungent, like chemically smell coming from here.
What do you think that is, Joey?
What does it smell like?
Joey, you don't smell anything. What's he talking about?
What? I mean, maybe I got a bad cold. I don't smell anything, Sam.
That chemical smell. Do you smell it? Like industrial chemical, maybe?
Like formaldehyde? I think that's what they call it.
No, but strong like that. No matter. By the way, Kevin, I'll mention my involuntary medium disadvantage for your perusal and consideration.
This may be playing into that.
And Samuel will. Did you say the door was open to that room?
So as you walk up to the room, there's a bit of a. It's probably not given your sort of familiarity or your experience thus far with the unnatural. It's not surprising to you that as you walk around the corner, what you see is a room that seems to have no windows. It is in no way a parallel of the room that you passed. What you see is a room that looks to be, has the antiseptic tile on the walls. It's much smaller than you would expect such a room to be. There are lights overhead. There is it's not a bed, but there is a table, as it were, that is set up. A metal table to be able to catch whatever sort of fluids may be coming from the subject on the table. There are, next to the table, there are wheeled carts that have a variety of bloodied implements on them. And on the table itself, the steel table, there is a stripped corpse. And at first you look, and there is a tattoo on the hand and tattoos otherwise on the body that have a kind of like, Russian mob type thing. It only takes you a moment, Sam, to sort of recognize that the colorless or pale Caucasian male body that sits here with a mark in its head is the man you shot outside of Jenny's residence a couple of nights ago. There's no sign of anyone conducting an autopsy, but that is clearly what is happening here. And I believe it was only one clean shot that took this man down. So you look at this, and then the head slowly turns to face you. Its eyes having lost the color, they're whited over, and you can see clearly the mark for where your shot rang true near the center of his forehead.
Samuel,
I think I need you to give us a keep it together.
Yep.
Check here. Joey, you walk up and look in. You see just a empty, lit hospital room identical to what Madame Yozoveski was in. So Samuel, keep it together. I think we determined you have to add in the modifier manually, right? Yep.
Okay. I got -1 from that.
Okay. No penalty to this whatsoever, just...
Okay.
Okay. So instills a condition. What do you think? Angry, sad, scared, guilt-ridden, obsessed?
I think that it would probably be in the direction of scared because of he feels isolated. He's been ably isolated. He kind of sees that, and this is kind of, and this is like he doesn't do a very good job of connecting dots, as I mentioned before, like strategically, but all of a sudden it just rushed to him that he's been isolated. He's been ably isolated by ZZ. This was, it seems obvious, whether right or wrong, it seems obvious to Sam, and now, and so he's feeling fairly fatalistic, and he meets this this entity's gaze, just with acceptance, resigned acceptance.
Okay. So
and he's so scared.
Okay. So reduce your stability by 1.
Mm-hmm.
And this
By the
thing...
way, I have that I still have a wound. Is that from something, from like shrapnel, or maybe?
Were you hurt by... I think you might have been hurt in the fight at Jenny's.
Yeah.
Right? That's only been 2 days.
And a knife laceration in my side. Critical wound.
Ooh. Was that knife? It's been treated, so it's not mana. It's not gone yet, but you're not suffering any penalties from it.
Okay.
I think that's the way that works. So the knife laceration, I think, was your fight with that guy in the yard.
I think that must have been it.
Is that the only wound you've got?
I've got so I got it marked off. So the wounds, I have 1 marked, and have typed in shrapnel, and then in the critical wounds section. Oh, shrapnel!
Yeah, shrapnel came from your when that guy shot the wall. Remember, he shot the wall as you were running through through Jenny's house, and some of the stuff kind of splintered out.
Yeah,
I think
and then I have a knife laceration, but it says it's a stabilized.
Yeah, I think both are stabilized, but not quite healed yet.
So no modifiers.
No modifiers. No.
Yeah. Okay. Just check. Yeah.
All right. So this thing's head turns, and it speaks in a voice that sounds kind of like an unnervingly even and casual kind of way. And what he says, or what this corpse says to you, is the crucible is not for Netzach. The crucible belongs to Hareb Serap. And while not knowing the meaning of those names, the weight of hearing them hits you, Samuel. And there's just, you know that you've heard something of great importance. Joey, Sam seems to be staring, sort of as if, paralytic at the door. And you're like, we're almost there, and then you hear from the other end of the hallway, it's weird. Do you hear the growling of a dog?
Dog.
Look back down the hallway, and you can see what steps out about halfway down the hallway. So between yourself and the doors at the other end, there's another another quarter of the length of the total hallway. About halfway down, you see two pairs of eyes as two huge, you can imagine if there was a cross between like an Irish wolfhound and like a mastiff. So it's got that shaggy, wild quality from the Irish wolfhounds, but solid. And there's no... there is actually not halters, but whoever owns these fucking things put these massive spiked collars on their necks, and two of them stalk out, and there's a low growl from them that rumbles almost like a small car's engine. What do you do, Joey?
I see it's down the hall. I go, hey, Sam, do you see that thing?
I don't think Sam reacts.
They let a dog loose in the hospital.
Sam's staring at the corpse, at its like as if he's staring at the head.
Yeah.
Doesn't react.
Okay, so Joey, Sam seems to be like mesmerized or something, or in a trance or a coma, or something's going on. These things slowly begin moving a little further out. Their teeth go back, and you can see, Jesus, there's something wet on the fur that sort of hangs around their mouths, and it's dripping down. Like, are they drool? No, it's too dark to be drool. Jesus, is that blood?
I gotta start shaking Sam.
So Sam,
shaking it.
Sam, you, as soon as you were shaken, you sort of look over at Joey, and if you spare a look back, it's that empty room now. But you look down, and you can see these two huge fucking dogs are their blood-drenched mouths, and they're only about a quarter of the length of the entire hallway away from you. And as you look down, they launch themselves into a run. Now, before these things take a move, I will give you guys each an opportunity. What do you guys wish to do?
Joey, you'd be more on top of it, so it might make, if you want to, it might make sense for you to go first. Because I'm kind of coming out of, I'm coming out of whatever I was in.
So one of the ways, again, we can think of this. Yeah, if narratively you think of what you want to do,
he's gonna try to get, if we're in like a hospital room or bed, he's gonna try to, knock things over, avoid harm.
I think you guys are still in the hallway. You actually haven't gone into the room, but you can see the room. The room's right there if that's what you want to do.
Oh, like you run into the room, try to grab Samuel and drag him in there, and maybe find something to stop from being mauled by dogs.
Okay. So that sounds to me like you're trying to act under pressure then.
Okay.
Okay. So why don't you give us an act under pressure? You grab Sam and you run in there and try and slam. Sam, there's a brief moment as you're being pushed in there. You remember seeing that autopsy room in here a moment ago, but now you can see there's a window and there's a hospital room.
So it's normal.
Yeah. So go ahead, Joey, give us a
Coolness.
act under pressure.
Yeah, I don't think ace up the sleeve would apply. That's a coolness.
That's the one that
advantage.
has where you can have a weapon right
or
away?
some, yeah. I don't know if it's specific to having a weapon.
Oh, let's see here. I think we've used it before to... it's ace up the sleeve. Is on. What page is it on?
Up the sleeve.
Do we have the page? I can't remember if this is the one that has the page references in it, or it gives you the opportunity to put them in.
I should have put the page.
Oh, that's okay. We'll look it up now. Coolness. Ace up the sleeve is on page 105. This definitely has you up against the wall. You want to make an ace up the sleeve roll first before you make your decision?
Yeah, I do coolness, and then I can.
You get edges, which you can...
yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
Yep. So roll coolness.
Yeah,
Just
roll coolness,
first.
then we'll compare it to ace up the sleeve. Let's see here.
No modifier. Oh, wow.
12,
Okay.
nice. If you get one edge, you can spend at any point during this scene, and the edges can be spent for: you have a small concealed lethal weapon, which you can produce; you realize your opponent has a weakness you can exploit, get +2 to your next roll, or you spot a way out and get +2.
Okay. I can save that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Just
All
get
right,
spent
so
during
then-
the scene. So what are you thinking?
All right.
All right, same thing as you had suggested?
Yeah, I'm still going to do that to block the door, give us some time, and then maybe I can look for a way out later if we have
Sure.
the chance.
So you push Sam into this room. The lights are on. As soon as you slam the door behind, give us a same thing, basically, act under pressure
thing.
roll.
Okay.
Nice. Easily.
To go.
Yep. So you do exactly what you intend. You push Sam in, slam the door behind you, and then Sam, what you think is that Joey just turned the lights off, because the lights go off, and you sort of look around, and you know that that sort of like there's always one of those like little small mirrors that hangs up in a hospital room. What you can see as you look over is that man with the hole in his head. Oh, Sean, can you hear us? Okay. Let's give Sean a moment here.
Oh,
His headset
you
died.
lost him. No.
Yeah, no problem. Sean, let us know when you can hear. Oh, the dogs are barking at the door. Sean, can you hear us again? There we go. Anna is helpfully providing some background noise.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, good. Where did we lose you?
Right. I mean, about 2 sentences ago.
Okay, so Joey has pushed you in to the room with no difficulty. Your immediate thought is, why the fuck did he turn the lights off? Because the lights just went off. And as you look over, there's that small like mirror that's always hanging up in a hospital room, you know. And you look over, or maybe it's the door to the washroom is open, and you spy in the mirror. You can see standing there, like behind you in the mirror, in the reflection, is that same corpse that you saw before, complete with the hole in the head, the tattoos and whatnot, just looking at you. I've made my move. Sam, what would you like to do?
And let's see. And Joey we're in the room, and Joey has closed the doors. Did you say?
Joey's closed the doors. He's looking around, trying to find something to try and like seal the door. Outside, there's no lights in here whatsoever. So outside, you can see the snow is falling down, and there's the lights of Detroit the city itself stretching out around you. You're on the second floor right now.
I mean, I think that given that my keep it together was success with complications, I think he's just still. I think he stares at the. He's trying to orientate, but then he sees in the mirror that corpse, and he's staring into the bathroom.
Okay, so Joey, you look back and. You can see that Sam is just staring into the bathroom. Now, picture you said, like, find something to block the door or something to that effect. Mm-hmm. What you hear is something. You can hear the sound of those dogs getting closer, and then they begin slamming themselves up against the door. And it's the door isn't giving, but I mean, like, these things are not designed to block people out. So you can hear even already the wood is beginning to splinter. Joey, what would you like to do next?
Joey. Oh, so what does Sam do?
Sam is just staring at a mirror in the what do you call it, in the bathroom.
Okay. He's gonna. I mean, he's not a fighter. He knows Sam has some fighting ability. If these things are gonna eat us, well, so I guess it's either slap Sam around to get him back into it, or look for a place. Maybe he'll look for a place to get out of here. Like, you know.
Let's do this. Why don't we model this as an influence other check? Okay. And remember, you got that that edge you could do to the +2 or.
No, he's not going to use that. He's not going to use that yet.
Okay.
I think because he's got a good charisma.
Okay.
He's like shaking Sam. He's gonna like slap him around to do something, you know, to get him to snap out of it.
And I think
we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here.
I think, and Sam's hearing this like in the background, like he's in the next, like Joey's in the next room doing this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Samuel says, still looking at the bathroom, who sent these, and why? Speaking to the bathroom.
Sure.
Okay. Who cares who sent them? They're gonna eat us.
Awesome. Go ahead and give us a influence other check here. Look at that.
Oh, whoa. Holy
Samuel, you are right back in it right now too, and I'll actually let you improve your stability by 1.
Okay.
You know, and this is playing on something you had said a couple sessions back, that Sam has almost like learned reflexes, you know, where you're brought back, you're in a position of danger right now. There is someone who is not as capable as you who is in this situation with you, and Joey's freaking out, or at least on the cusp of it, and you can hear those dogs slamming themselves against the door.
And I want to say that when I was looking at the bathroom and I said that, and I want to say perhaps at least I thought that it was opening it was going to respond, and then all of a sudden I'm back and I'm like, don't, like I was just, you know, but he comes, you know, he's back and he looks around for something to stick into the door handles, or, you know, something or pulls over a file cabinet. You know, I don't know if there's a file cabinet, but something heavy to put in front of the. He quickly tries to help them.
So it's I think you're acting under pressure once again.
I do have an advantage daredevil when Samuel enters a dangerous situation.
Yep.
Add perception bonus.
Yes, I 100% agree that applies here.
Okay. All right.
I can't believe I rolled that high. That's nuts.
Yeah, that's great. Holy smokes.
That was sweet. Okay. Act under pressure. All right, there it is. And let's
and you get +2 on top of.
And I don't. Okay, nope. My stability does not come into play for this. So +1 for my advantage, and I have another +1. You say?
No, just a plus.
You said 2 just now, I think.
2,
so
yeah. Isn't that what your Daredevil gives you +2, or is it +1?
Oh, you're right, because my perception is 2. You are exactly correct.
Okay. Success with complications.
All right.
All right. Then, let's see here. Ooh, unexpected outcome, a high price, or a difficult choice. So I'm actually going to make a move against you. So what is it you do to sort of secure this thing?
I think I immediately put my shoulder into some kind of modern medical device, who knows what it is, and shove it against the door. So I just immediately just grunt and kind of leap into action and push it. Mm-hmm.
Nice. So that seems like it's going to secure things. You go back. Joey, you've taken a couple steps back away from the door where Sam is sort of taking charge. And I need you to give us, Joey, an avoid harm check, please. Or move. Because something from under the bed has just tried to grab your ankle.
This is where the... Oh, Damn. Okay.
Nice. Okay, so you avoid the worst of it, but I decide if you end up in a bad spot, lose something, or partially sustain harm. You're not hurt by this. So it hits your leg, but you're not able to get through. But looking down with the lack of light in here, all you can see is this pale and fairly muscled arm with tattoos running up the tarp, is reached out from underneath the bed and has grabbed hold of the cuff of your leg. You can't move until you get yourself free of this.
Okay.
And I think I'd like you to give us a keep it together check as well, because this is the first time you're seeing something.
Yeah, freaky.
Yeah,
Well, other
really
than the
freaky here.
dogs. Keep it together. Oh, that's not.
So that's your willpower, I think.
Ooh.
Ooh.
10.
Okay, so
Success with complication.
Yeah, as with Sam, it's going to be either, do you think angry, sad, scared, guilt-ridden?
It depends if I recognize the tattoos. Scared is a default, but if I recognize those tattoos, like it's someone that I know that's dead, it might be like.
You weren't at Jenny, so I don't think you would recognize these tattoos.
Okay.
I mean, they look like the kind of things that
So he's like
Russian gangsters
scared,
have.
Yeah, he's like scared, like what?
Okay, so you can mark yourself, reduce your stability by 1. You are scared right now.
Okay.
All right.
So that's uneasy, right? Then,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So then,
does a character sheet take that into account?
I don't think it does. What is
No.
It says minus 1 disadvantage.
And that's only
disadvantage.
to
Disadvantage.
Okay.
disadvantages. So.
Okay.
All right, Joey. So with this thing grabbing hold of you, you're up next. What would you like to do?
Oh, well, now this thing is grabbing hold of me. He's gonna pull out his boot knife, which I guess is, since he's grabbing the cuff of my leg, it's near there, and just start going, ah!
Nice. Okay, so
that's gonna use my thing.
Okay, so your knife is out. Why don't you go ahead and give us? I think this is gonna be engaging in combat.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll give it a +2 because I'm using the item, right?
No, you can produce a lethal weapon as one option, or you can get a +2 to a roll on something else.
Oh, okay. So I just produced a lethal weapon.
Yeah.
Like he managed to sneak it into the hospital, which is crazy.
Sure.
But
Okay.
sure. He's just gonna start.
Yeah.
Yep. Medium disadvantage. Oh, that's not me, right? Yeah, he's not good at combat. Oh,
Nice.
He's not good at combat.
So
but
let's see here. Knife, and where's my cards? There we go. So for the knife,
it's like one of those, like, pulls it out, it's like a butterfly knife, like, shah!
Yeah. She stabbed this thing, and it's like you would have expected blood or whatnot to come out of it. It actually takes like hacking apart at the wrist for it to tear off. There's no blood or other viscera or whatnot that comes out. It's a drained corpse. But you manage to free yourself and you stagger back from this. Sam, you can hear the dogs slamming themselves against the door. You've bought some time here.
Yeah.
But
I heard Joey scream.
Yep.
So I whirl, and I see him hacking away.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna flip the bed.
Okay. So this is I am gonna require a dice roll only because it's a hospital bed kind of thing. So it's gonna be like there's all that mechanisms and whatnot in it. This is not a simple thing.
Reflexes or
I don't
know.
No, I think it's act under pressure once again. But I'll tell you that one of the consequences is if I think you're going to open up your wounds if you fail on this. That's just because really exerting yourself like that.
Yep.
Go ahead and give us a act under pressure.
I have a slight doubt of exactly. I believe do you think my stability is neurotic, or do you think it's my bad in the last little flurry?
I think it only applies. The penalty only applies for keep it together rolls or for disadvantage rolls.
I think you're right, but since I checked it just now, I wanted to bring this up.
Oh, okay. Then you don't remember?
It's either neurotic or anxious is my
at present. Yeah.
At present.
I know.
My bad.
Let's say it's at neurotic right now.
That sounds good. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, it'll be distressed because Joey got such a great success of dragging you back.
Okay.
And there was that sense of purpose, so you're at distressed right now.
All right. Okay. Act under pressure. Okay.
So you can feel, as you put your whole weight into this thing, you can feel the stitches all kind of burst painfully at your side as you turn this whole thing over. Bang! It hits on the ground, and you look down. Joey, where are you right now?
He's like, I guess he's like, he just cut the hand from, cut the hand from his leg, or sorry, cut the hand. So he's kind of like he's probably like when I guess Sam comes over to the bed to turn it over, he kind of stepping back from it.
Okay. Towards the window?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the door is like, I guess just to like our left or right. So it's,
yes, yeah.
Yeah, and the windows are, okay. Yeah, towards the window.
Okay, so you're moving towards the window. I'm just trying to find one disadvantage here quickly. Let's see here. Nope. Okay. Where? Here we go. Great. Would you kindly, Sam, give us just a flat roll. 2d10, please.
Okay.
So I gain 3 hold.
You're welcome.
Thank you. What you can feel is as you turn this thing over, is that you need to fight. You need to fight something. So you toss this over, normal floor underneath this, the kind of like tiled hospital floor. You look over and you can hear those dogs, the dogs of war, as it were, slamming it at the door. You need to fight these things.
And how about what was under the bed? What's
Nothing.
Oh, nothing.
Nothing. As soon as you toss it over, I'm picturing you toss it in the direction where the arm was, and there's nothing. No obvious source of this. The bed must have fallen on top of the thing.
I'll try. Given that the room looks normal now, is there a phone in here? Intercom?
The thing is, you need to fight something.
Okay.
So what you can do is, I'll let you make a roll to try and keep it together because something is impelling you here. Like having turned to violence seems to have opened the door for something. You can feel yourself just,
I see,
roiling with anger, or at least the feeling of a need to inflict violence.
All right.
I've used one of my hold right now.
Yep. Okay, now let's see here. Keep it together. So I'm at -1.
Okay.
Okay.
So you, I think you're not going to lose any stability.
What about that I try to get at the dogs? What about
That's exactly what.
Yeah.
So you race over, and with the sort of like panic-induced strength, you just throw this thing back, that big medical device. Joey, this thing falls down and skitters towards you. Sam's about to throw the door open, and he puts his hand. Joey, do you wish to do anything before Sam does this?
And I'm probably in a rage. Can he tell that I'm kind of?
Yeah. You've seen, like, this is someone, rage. This is someone who's about to like inflict violence on anything he can.
I think Joey's gonna step back. And I thought you wanted to tell me first before.
Okay.
He's got his knife out though. I mean, I don't know. He goes, "What's our play? I don't think we have good odds. We don't have good odds."
Okay.
Joey's doing a lot of talking back there.
Yeah.
So why don't you? I think you're trying to help here. Why don't you help or hinder? Why don't you give us a keep it together is used with willpower. Why don't you give us a willpower roll? Let's see if you can help Sam, regain some semblance of control here before he does something unfortunate.
No. Oh no.
Shoot.
He's too far in.
So the I think what Sam, you turn, and Joey, you can tell me if you prevent this. He races over to you, grabs that knife out of your hand, races over to the door, and he's about to throw the, first off, do you let him just grab the knife from you? It looks like it might be a fight if he...
Yeah, well, I think Joey's too shocked, he's not good at violence. It's not his thing.
So you throw the Sam. You grab this knife. You come racing back. I'll give you one more chance here to try and keep it together.
Okay.
I'm using this as another of my moves or hold.
No.
So you throw the door open.
Yeah, grab the knife, throw the door open, and go at it.
You're about to.
It's on.
Okay. We then are seeing cuts, and you have one more opportunity to keep it together here. There are 2 female nurses outside of a room who are banging on the door. Sir, you can't get out of there. Sir, you can't be in there. And suddenly the door is thrown open, and this wild-eyed man leaps out, knocks one of them down with a knife in his hand. Joey, you suddenly are... You're in a room identical to what Madame Yoseveski is in. The room, there's a broken medical apparatus at the feet. There's an empty bed that's been turned over on its side. And it looks like Sam's about to stab a nurse.
Oh.
What do you do, Joey?
Joey's got to try to stop him.
Okay.
I guess he's going to try to tackle him.
Yeah, okay. So why don't you engage in combat? Because unarmed combat... disarm is one action that you can, one attack you can do with that.
I think you just try to topple him over is probably the best bet. To try to grab a flailing knife.
So go ahead and...
You never were a linebacker, Joey.
Success with complications. I think you get cut. By this. So would you give us a so you're definitely gonna stop Sam from stabbing this guy. Would you give us an avoid harm check here? See if you can reduce this down.
Oh,
fucking awesome.
Nice.
All right, so it's a nick. It's like a shit. You can see this thing's about to cut you, but you've been able to keep yourself under control.
It ruins my jacket, I'm sure.
Yeah. Sam,
you have to pay for that.
The one with the New York Jets patch too.
Yeah. Sam, would you give us one for? I'm using my last hold here. Give us one more. Keep it together. Let's see if you can stop yourself from attacking this hapless nurse.
Sort of.
Okay. Success with complications. So you find yourself back. You were in that whole thing, and you can see yourself staring down at this woman. What you come to on is that you've got it's not around her throat, but it's pushing right up against where her neck meets her chest. She's on the ground, and you were about to plunge this thing into her. Joey's on your back, like, "What, are you losing your mind? Come on!" And he's got you pulled back, and that's what's allowed you to sort of catch yourself. And I think that you will still suffer. I think guilt-ridden is probably the. It's not your fault that you are prone to possession by these sort of supernatural things, but this definitely,
so stability.
Yes. So your stability goes down by 1. Sam, what happens next?
Sam.
Samuel, snaps to, and drops the knife, and looks her right in the face. Says, "Oh God, I am so sorry," and then runs for the exit.
Yeah, so there's people like, call the police.
Yeah.
Everyone's sort of thinking. So Sam gets, drops the knife, staggers to his feet, and begins running towards, which is only like the opposite end of where you guys initially came onto this floor. What do you do, Joey?
Joey's gonna run after him.
Okay.
And he's gonna try to it's like being in those alleys again. He's gonna it's the hallway, alley, same thing.
Okay.
And push gurneys, not biological waste, so that they are delayed.
Yeah. So you guys go racing out, and then I think that we'll cut to those one-way doors, the emergency end to let trash out. The door slams open and Sam comes staggering out into this snow-filled alleyway, followed shortly after by Joey. You guys tell me what happens next. You can hear the sound of sirens.
I think Sam is just running. It's not time to get his wits together. He's doing the what's the movie's name? Tom Hanks. He's just running.
Oh,
yeah. Time for running.
Forrest Gump.
Run,
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump. Yeah, run, Samuel,
Sam,
run.
Okay, so I think maybe, guys, we'll end our session with you guys racing off away from the hospital, the sound of sirens of the approaching police.
And if he makes it that far, 15 blocks later, he's just running. There's no change in his,
Yeah. I think it's just exhaustion would probably take over him because you've been at some point, so you sort of we'll see where we pick up next session, but that will bring us to the end of session 5. So guys, let's quickly go through.
Oh yeah.
What we got for
what's that page again?
Page 1. I want to say 136.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
From right here. Yep, 136.
Nice.
Oh, I got a fucking bookmark. All right, so guys, questions for you. Have we discovered anything new about the truth? Capital T.
I mean, we've interacted with it, so you find yourself, where does interacting with it stop and learning about it start?
I think you learned. You definitely.
I
you
think
got
we did.
Two names.
It was with fits in starts and jerks, but I think we did. Yeah, I think we did.
Yep. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, that one person.
That's a good point. At least the name, at the very least.
Yep.
Yeah.
Netsach and Hareb Sarap.
And you said it belongs to both, right?
It does not. The Crucible, the Catalyst does not belong to Netsach. It is Hareb Sarap's.
Huh. The Catalyst, you said. It was the Catalyst.
So one, have we learned anything new about our characters? We met Aunt Maria today.
Yeah, the first time we met Aunt Maria.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. And I think so. Yeah. So that's 2. Have we challenged ourselves?
Yeah. I mean, there's no question about that.
Okay. That's 3. So each you get 3 XP, and then also Joey's were meet, visit Matt and Yozoveski. So yes, and reveal where you went. So yes. So Joey, getting 5 XP for today. Sam, investigate the package. You've continued to do that. That's one of those things that's not it is an ongoing thing, but the fact that you're trying to push it forward and find more ways of learning, that I would agree. Investigate more about Mr. ZZ.
Yeah.
Did that as well. So 5 XP for each of you guys.
Cool. All right.
Nice. I got to spend some. I got 13. I got to spend some.
Oh, man. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Okay, so then for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for part 5 of the Those Left Behind adventure or campaign. As is always the case, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, the campaign, or the game we're playing, please do not hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section of the video, and I'll endeavor to reply in a timely fashion. You can also find a link down below to the Dungeon Musings Discord server, where all of us are active, and we have a channel dedicated to story games just like this, including where, if you want to read that same article that we were talking about today about Mr. ZZ, you can find a link to that article posted there. The last thing I will say is a huge thank you to our players. So, Carl and Sean, thank you so much for playing today. As with every session of this, I can't believe how fast the time flies by.
Yeah.
Just blows by in this game. We'll be back again with our next chapter in 2 weeks' time. But until then, we hope that we've given you a few hours to take your mind off of the troubles of our world and think about the troubles that our heroes in the illusion that is the world continue to run into. Can you hear the sound of those baleful hounds, guys?
Seriously,
the dogs of war call for you.
Just on time.
And until we see you again, stay safe, stay healthy, and happy gaming.